Abusuya yamma kwaba shonko so eba POG Media ena yedem beko highway ni so highway ni de ensem bebre wo so a yen so yaje pene se yebeme ya abadwafo no ahu de ekọ ene de eba na dan na ekọ so highway ni so eye Andrada Dr. Bawumia ebe man speech na speech na obe man no eye ni speech all ka ensema opese ochire se ensema a oka no eno na se Ghana for ema ne power na se 2024 no o win elections ne dia sa anuoma no ena oba abaye na sa ensem ne de akofa ensem bebra ba Dr. Bawumia de sisi ampu de ono ankasa no otewa wa regret se obie na no eka sa ensem no Dr. Bawumia regret ya ono ankasa no odwene se mekura no mekoka sa speech we kura yeden na nsɛm a ɔkeka no ɔso yisi ano ɔno nanado amemo ne de ɔno no ɔyɛ mate ɔyɛ vice president enye ɔno na etake decisions bi ɔkura na otake a nanado dankwa Akufo-Addo nye den emfi intino yemma ne power na ɔno ankasa ba ɔmbe implement ne nneɛma ɔpɛ sɛ ɔyɛ den ɔyɛ eye e-levy ɔka wasem ɔso ɔba e-levy obetwam na ɔno no time a otu nanado dankwa fo sɛ e-levy na ni kwan sɛ ɔba so no nanado dankwa Akufo-Addo amfa ne nsɛm anya den anya hwɛ nti e-levy na ɔbɛyɛ den obetwam ɛna tax a ɛdeda bet so nso no ɔse obetwam na saa nsɛm we no ɛna Ghana for a strike on him a ɔmo ka kyɛn sɛ Dr. Bawumia ɔnka nokore ɛyɛ wo sɛ yɛyɛ nkura bi a asɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ɔde yɛadwen Ghana for no ɔde yɛadwen yɛ den edi agoro amamuwe no ka ho bi ɛna saa nneɛma we nyina yɛ den ɛkɔ so nti bi si ade ɔpɛ sɛ otwe ho si nkyɛn na o blame nanado sɛ nanado dankwa Akufo-Addo government no ɛna ɛnkoyi na saa nsɛm no Ghana for atoto bi ama ne yi ankasa bɛpɛ sɛ yɛbɛme abadwafo no bɛme akɔ na yakɔ akɔtie nsɛm a ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ highway no so na saa na ɛbɛkɔ no o nsɛm kan bi afa hyɛ yɛ comment section like na hyɛ ma afoforo so no ɛnsa entumi ɛnka bi na masɛ.
Simon Jaka says, I've opened my radio very loud inside Spintex Okpoi Gono. Both MPP and NDC are doing the listening live. All right, thank you. Abdul Rashid Jero Sawadogo says, good afternoon. I'm here watching you live from New York. Good job, guys. Okay, also a chow, Commander More Fire, Kesi do the typical MPP party members think. Okay, so let me move on. Muhammad Ibrahim says, good afternoon, Akroma FM. Good afternoon, bro. We are here and this is the Citizen Show. Now, I will say, Nameka Assembly. But before that, quick one. Me pacho voice pop neka bako. Are you ready? All right, so yanko Greater Accra Ekrom na ya mama foko krom kakra koye juma bi on. I'm just trying hard not to talk about Bawumia. Me many ye pa. Say, I'm just trying because it's so sad. And running them me raho me busa me wo say inti Ghana nya the likes of Akroma, the champions, the Kufu, Kotokano money, Free no money, Rollins no. Look at President Kufu, look at Atamels, look at John Mahama. Then all of a sudden, your political positions, start to say take off from standard, net take off from. Akufo-Addo apia ba no kwafom amene yenya ewura te se Bawumia. Just listen to Bawumia. Then you ask yourself, enti we need the best Ghana betimi enya. Enti Ghana your best pani. Sika asay your democracy. But for money, just look, Alan Trematin attitude on a political posture, I don't like it. Memempe obi or your opportunist. I don't like such people. Me support to Alan 2007-2008. After some time, especially after 2016, Alan H00 ene Akufo-Addo konante no, and that is my personal observation. Mengasi enu me ibu for, but on my personal level, I decided to cancel his name from politically, because look, now Alan will every opportunity not to take Akufo-Addo's position. Then you quite say, I've been telling people, Minibi bebre, but a radia da romanti, a radia mamen crofwa. Yes, nyame boni friend ya no abone puma akano. Inti a radia kan crofwa kuma emo mususo bobie musa amfie nwatwini. I don't know why I should walk to Akufo-Addo circles move for anything in my life. It will never happen. That. Kandapa is my uncle. Recently, near Dim Komo, Onu say I was not forthcoming with my life, mommy. I will never walk to national security say Kandapa, mami misika. Mimfanya she, I don't need it. Ne yirifia sentiment po minimum fee. Mimfanya she, ensi su da. Ni wiase say. On Kandapa personal level, as my uncle, not that she be a my driver for the fee in my coach and all me offer the entrance in India. Fair. But some me chase camera media for. I know people who claim to be NDC guys, we Kandapa they deal with them. I know them. He grow money at you, ye in Bibia. There cost to be a nutia. So, say, oh, okay, so come by Obiasma, maybe standard no, ever too low. It's sad. Just look at Bawumia anymore, and I didn't say Onimyansa Chen. And a member office, na me tie different stations news. Could you believe that the information minister, Akroma, is defending the finance ministry on electricity, a VAT on electricity, no, or defend government, no, at the same time, no, Sadia Nwana Bawumia so betwem no, or say defend no why Bawumia so betwem. Then I'm like, oh, what do you try? Obaka was as a badam for. Oh, true. As a badam for, as a badam for, as a nipa bi omo bodam no mo say as a bobo no na omo no abaji MPP no na omo at presidency as a badam for from Akufo-Addo to as a badam for. What you don't get it? Yeah, one information minister. Now he is torn between the executive and the vice president or flag bearer, and the flag bearer is ashamed of Onwana buying records and what promises say obetwem. Now information minister no was on City FM defending Kenoforiata and the executive on a VAT on electricity. No, defend it. Then I'm like, meanwhile. Nidini say, boy no Nidini say, Kojo Akroma, a part of Bawumia's team. I know, nature him. On a MC, and the Bawumia Kahebi and Wajidi. O free MC Naseno, no Abedina City FM. Na, just what do you want to ask you? What do you want? Oh, one more type ni bina a pure areas like Niger, any other areas no a dear before ball mine more or mutime kwa show minus no, because these guys are just so foolish people, very foolish people. This guy Bawumia was at the 2021 Parliament budget reading. Otiwabina yaka e-levy no obon insem. Can no for attack e-levy obon insem. What was he clapping for? Then small time. But you see, check the standard. Shekwamne Japan bad for sika. Then akwamne Japan ekoto Bawumia. Standard not perform. Standard nenye. Look at Bawumia. And when my dear Mami Sroma Ghana, just look at Bawumia. Just check Bawumia. Shane Honkro for Kabo Wanya Jumada. Samira Kunya Jumada. These are boys. I know them. No almost no mwedi. Boy no. We needing to John Kuma. One crowd is so Yari say something. Rather than Sunny Yari. Sunny Yari no yesofo. What you say? These are boys. Look, Omunim said ye any pardon and say yeah Juma, some year Juma. Me my appointment letter in Debbie. Politics, parasites. So just imagine giving the country to these boys, these riff-raffs. Just imagine giving the country to these riff-raffs. Bawumia no amo number. Enkwala na edina chiro bi amo number. Gideon bo akonya adwuma da. Tie Bawumia national service, me twa national service mu. Oga ka say obey no, say voluntary, say obey no dey. Obey dey voluntary. Na nya no ano no. National service. The core mandate, the intention. The institute national say nanom de national service no MI no. Now say what they also be change that core mandate. Na omo jimia say review kra no review tio obi say review muti ase say a cancellation. Obi so obe abolish the current national service system now say no nye cancellation. Abolish na say abolish na ASEAN say. In the obi catch yourself, I abolish the current national service system no. Enye dwam na wotwam. Or say review to cancellation, but abolish ne the cancellation. Because so much oh tina kere de Japan catch some say nipa MPP ni wa jimi sa. Nipa MPP ni jimi sa. Dr. Bawumia kasa hwe wo de show tie NDC catch them say e-levy no anye tio what's the be anura Bawumia ahwe omo anim e-levy no anye metwam ye aboa kasa kira aboa ene wote NDC nipa kasa no omonte omo entu nipa kasa mo a wonte jesu wo kwa hwede ne seso aboa mo aka kire se kasa e kire wo mo. So yesterday for the first time that small MPP handful supporters no they were able to understand why e-levy enye for the first time. Me wa ni aka say mo ya for almost 2 years 3 years so they wenye what's that. So then they say NDC a disciple from within them that go and tell them that e-levy. So you see, God is so wonderful, And when God wants to expose people, just look at this prophet. It got to a point they say nyamema efunumu donkey a kasache prophet no because almost a prophet now boy just a boy kasache no answer no what that is MVP supporter for you. What about them? You need the caliber of person to talk to him. Say, look, this is the situation. So I know I'm about with a e-levy Bawumia. Question me busa me one say and to mo bomb say my day. Can for real ne Akufo-Addo no ne upon Akroma no nyina aye statements ma mo bomb say e-levy the NDC na ma mofo. Na e-levy na yeah. Na NDC mpese on my way be ye. Then all of a sudden as someone NDC car was on Tiasieno. And you see this e-levy, wouldn't be Amia. Womuchni Ghana ha bribe MPs, bribe media practitioners. I told you. I was in Jowulu and we friends in the back by. Oh, Kwabra, as we see no abon this ni radio station we nipa we no abon di akere me we age me gina no afre ba ko edna to loudspeaker. Owie ye kwamna de ne de e your man sika ye dwudwam je. Sometimes this kind of conversation, the entire, and yes, I mean, this secret, but anything illegal, I don't support it. And this issue was between me and my own brother, A plus. Make actually A plus straight that A plus me this kind of things. No. I don't do it in my life. I don't do it. I don't do it. Se me ya dia me yen pete ma mo hu se eye me na me se me support e-levy. I will start supporting it and Sakura MPP for baba be hu me I will do it. O ya ndis ni na so ntiase ye wa say me I don't care about you. I don't mean ya hwe. Untimi nya hwe. Me untimi nya me hwe nothing. Absolutely nothing. So when I do things na me pese me amede madwene eya ade me pese bibi be influence madwene me pese me amede madwene ye so that when it comes to taking responsibility for my actions me will say yes ade me na me ye e ho consequences ni tuatua ho sika mankrofo enti mu wie we nyina no. Then the vice president on a spearhead, who say the only way make me a tricky sabi Ghana and Kwasiafu when he say, Mamenko Kansom say, doesn't make sense. Yanko Greater Akroma Yanko and Command Crawford. Quick one, let's go. Our Greater Akroma Yanko and Command a month for a day after talking to them on the streets.
The more said on Bay and Mobile and on Bay, and be the S on Bayama, Yen Bay and maybe friends. To my like Yetimum form, ye bread, oh, the survive ye bread, oh, say on the Kansas and with some be beds in like in my tax better than Yamasuna. It is like, I don't know, it can't be possible, so meet me because. Maybe they are coming for their vote, that's why they are bringing all those type of things. Yeah, but to me, need but betting in the if you there, yeah, by the local police is too much. Bet no mugia, I'm not too much. Yes, I'm too much. But to me, it can't be said. A bit in your bad, like, but never be year football. Want to me, where I did be on the okay.
e-levy here. This on non crossing. E-levy non crossing.
On you through.
On crossing.
On you through.
E-levy no. On you through. Yeah. I mean, sa you that kind of machine. Really. Tax in the economic quality on that. Ghana Niska, I make it just 1,000 so no musical company on the on Ghana physical no day.
Or say a 12 man or we sign money through.
Oh, Asa, the trouble man she The job I'm no papa and for by Kufa Batisu. Sa no better economy, net is a comedian. Then Tobaman sa it's begun with Massa. The Cameroon Kwamadu Ghana Hadia. Massa Mamma Pun Papa from the Ghana, Nagana and that. Number is a government away from who you become to the enemy. Musumba Sunu Yatina at the task, Musumba Sunu become to the enemy. There will be our mamma will be snap. Minimum Kanamu of Passamatama. But I see it is a Obeza, but did the task there. Wajim Majas, never Papa Wajas, Sanaba Post and Wolf, and never Wajas, the Munko Ghana for Mama Seniors. Okay. In Yansa. Okay. So no Bonoboya, Pantumano. So no some Moya, India, into Casanumano, Media to say, Obey and also that will be a party or not, and as a gun power open one at us. Boya in Botano, let me pay.
You do that when he becomes the president, but he's already a president, so why don't he start now? You understand? So since that is what he say he will do, I won't challenge that. But what I know is that he's the president. And if what he say he mean it, because I know all those taxes, you know, they work it together. He's the vice president, so he's also part of, you know, those who implement that policy. So if you are part of those who implement that policy, how can you come back and tell me that when you become the president, when you're already the president? So I won't challenge what you say, but you know, maybe yeah. You do that when he becomes the president, but he's already a president, so why don't he start now? You understand? So since that is what he say he will do, I won't challenge that. But what I know
all right,
is
okay, so these are some of the few. I don't know the other ones, you know. Senya Mayamo. Anyway, all right. So Yanko Central Region, Yanko what went on? Central Region. Yanko Central Region, Yanko the course was Central Region. Sound
E-levy because no the buyer no obe educate se see anu ye mobile money phone I didn't hire to do it. Se see every month crapo first and minam bibi kakra see there scan kan ba be fresh e be bag to ebi and se see min kwan there the doctor can there and dada nkwa nde say na mekinya
the person met in the casa because obianu mi so obi otwantro. Because ono that our Ghana na parliamentary ku sa e-levy hu ntokwa na oni Ghana owen and then na ope to me obaba be kan kire say yentu abama no nsisa me je nundi on to me ye hu bibia ade bi obe kan bia na ye no opposite mu check a na mo hwe ne kasa fita ma oba say obeye vice president kasa bia ni wa kan no na wo check a na sisi soda kasa bia obeka bia na ye ntro intimidate Nigeria because they say I go Google na go cry Google actually say oyo bia o twa ntro inti ni pa o twa ntro a o kasa ma me mistake ko say enya ni pa so mo ntie intimidate me je ndi kwa person met
chiamotiefo nyina na de emi bisa ne se embra ye hihye sa mmara no e wo parliament no sebi previous na Bawumia na oni Ghana ana sata na ye nwo no ana eye Ghana foforo e na omo ka sa endo obeka sa ade wi me menyi ni se papa no betimi aboa Ghana o because the oil na I say obi a sebi monopause we ye papa pos as obi a sebi papa pos bi enya no a oka ade we na ochina no wasesa no Ghana ya nhwe ni yi a enye yi na the oka no me menyi ni se o betimi aboa Ghana because mo na mo di e-levy kra baaye mo wan kasa na obe educate yen me kra na benti ase wo na obe educate yen wo TV so na yan kasa ye gitu mu ene wan kasa wasan ba se obe ye president a obe ye fu papa sorry to say that time a wo ba no na wada na se de Ghana for monti mani o na de e koso no ano odin chiamotiefo nyina na de emi bisa ne se embra ye hihye sa mmara no e wo parliament no 7 previous and about.
All right, so this is Central Region. On Ashanti Region, Yanko Ashanti Region, Kumasi, right? Kumasi, Yanko Kumasi. Na Yanko Nkotie Nkoma Omo AD Ewo Street mu Ewo Kumasi.
Na wan ye fish wa bla motisho. Na wo tena mama
abusia sansem no na bobi ansa ne nsem a o ka fa Dr. Bawumia no o se Dr. Bawumia enim se yene no ye nim nyansa na sansem we a Dr. Bawumia e ba ba keka a kire Ghana fo ipa no ensem a se o keka ila se ono no odina no fa Ghana fo no wada adai no san so de akura enso hwem na bobi ansa de ono de wa keka bi a kire Dr. Bawumia ene na ire Samira Bawumia enye asamketo akra Ghana fo ebuafu omabuafu ye papa ebi mo se abane kro omonto intino Dr. Bawumia de wa ending the political career enye asamketo ebepe se ebe mi abedwafo no be sanso ami akone akwakotin se ma na bobi ansanso ye den eka etuso medamase
no we ya to aba for san mo ye fish and ya ne nya adi to be ya wonyi ni preku e fish ni e wo se wa yi awayi na ye be de we afa nhihye wo se de ande me ne wa mo nya adi ko mo yi fish e ya de na wanyi fish wa bla mo ti so na wo tena mama wo no we ya to aba for san mo ye fish and ya ne nya adi to be ya wonyi ni preku e fish ni e wo se wa yi awayi na ye be de we afa nhihye wo se de ande me ne wa mo nya adi ko mo yi fish ka e baba for no mo nya mo ka ni ye Romu di wusi eni kuya bebe. Kuna sampla. Nese ya bukwe fuwa dada. Enti sasa kapa di na waka wakanche.
Kwa ye kra na wu e-levy a mode baye. Wu MPP for mo na mode baye. Edi enti na me ye fish. That's the mamu na mu buo no mu hunu so. Mu hunu so nti na dia we de waka no kra ye kra no kra mpofu aba kra de wo ye tini tubi. Aba no min tubi m chese. Dia mo ye no mo kra mo nim ne mo ye. Mo amuti akonya so mo ahyemla. Some you yes, I've had the war, but the chile to Akroma as a president here. Also, may you live at the Devon every show, but you never ties with the very fish. That's just someone because I'm more than to me to move this enough from la. Yeah, won't tell you. You want to say the same about me and I look now one initial, and one person and then you should tell him, I do any I saw a young to Abanibian. They are to my people, she are to one. And someone I'm pension, no functioning, no found woman, none of mission to tell none I didn't left. I'm a catch about when you're the watch to a drama, who cut on 2.8. The Iska, so Mama Miska. Let us. Miss Marco Hospital, I had to shut us and cover. They do no. I know na me America.
Enye jese e-levy no na de buy o dada me ato bama no ya buy enye du o dada ya na me ato bama ma you know said that
Wo se anya no pra wo ba ka bi anwa be ye ji onu dada en wo ya wa ka de ni aye
Yaya yantuma ndisi yansa yantuma MPP ontuma ndisi ajaye o vifrate wo eteme yaya yantuma ndisi yaya yantuma MPP yande mo amasem but omo rezi asembia anika se wuni mafutu a and metie Kofi Bentel ma ho se Kofi Bentel ese ose de wase Bawumia entime resign even though the ninja policies be ho. Can you imagine where in our constitution any actually say oh you're vice president you can't resign? Where? I think Aka and Rollins issue no. Now they were in government, right? Now Akaya vice president. Mebwa. And he resigned. And now Rollins ne yinedi. He resigned and now Rollins ne yinedi. Check it for me. Say, we are vice president. Won't me resign? Bravo, don't mind me. Na omuka so na omunkrofo na gie di say I we are vice president won't me resign. How? So you're vice president won't me resign. Now Unim MPP. Oh, omo press conference now omo here on e-levy no. You have it. MPP. What's it there? Mate. What do you fear no bra? Tie Oseche Mensa Bonsu. Uwia na wayi Oseche Mensa Bonsu. Ni birthday e-levy no. Ni birthday party no. Uni na Samira na kwatwa sa e-levy cake no mu. Samira na kwatwa mu. Yo. Okay.
That it's important to start with the people. The people may not get it right all the time. But the state remains the state, the republic remains the republic. So we have elected not only to stand with the people, but much more importantly, much more enduringly, to stand with the republic. Colleagues, the purpose of this bill that we've gone through really is to broaden the tax base of our country and to increase revenue mobilization domestically. I'm not too sure that any one of us in Parliament would disagree, minority, majority, would disagree that where we are as a country, we need, the bill provides that they are going to apply it to the development of physical infrastructure. That's number one. And we do know that almost every week, in particular on Fridays, questions are filed relating to the development of roads in the various constituencies. Questions are filed relating to the construction of boreholes, the delivery of potable water, extension of electricity to places hitherto unserved, construction of health facilities. And so we are not in disagreement. I'm not sure that any MP would disagree that we should apply this money for the monies that would ensue from the e-levy to the construction of physical infrastructure, also digital infrastructure, and tackling high unemployment in the country. The bill provides that the monies will be used to grow entrepreneurs, especially young entrepreneurs. I'm not sure that anybody in Parliament will be against this. And we are escalating our debt burden, going out to borrow. If we have to do revenue mobilization inside the country, what it means is that we will curtail the rate of borrowing and thereby curtail the increasing debt stock. Who in Ghana, which MP would say that he doesn't like this? So colleagues, I believe we are adding them on these matters. Now, what Parliament ought to be looking at is reportage. How much is coming? How are we applying those revenues? And I think that Parliament's oversight responsibility should come into play, which is why what we're discussing, which were put together by one of our colleagues on the other side in the form of amendment. He left the chamber not to move the amendment. But because we had bought into the spirit even in his absence, we brought it back to the front burner and moved that amendment relating to Parliament's oversight responsibility. But the minority are making a fanfare of the fact that we are saying that because of the application of the e-levy is an all-in-all facility, it's going to operate like Akubam, Utiyoya Akubam, Unayoya Akubam. The funny thing of it was that when the ranking member was reciting this poem, when he said Akubam, Utiyoya Akubam, instead of touching his head, he touched his ass. That's on the funny side. But why are they saying that? You see, the e-levy, we are not creating a fund for the e-levy, like the Petroleum Revenue Fund. Now, the revenues that would ensue from the taxes will be commingled with other revenue sources into the consolidated fund. So, bits and pieces of it will go into health, bits and pieces of it will come to Parliament, bits and pieces of it will go to education, bits and pieces of it will go to roads. But for roads, we are insisting that perhaps when we come to it, we may even demand of the finance minister to declare to us that maybe about 20% of it should be dedicated.
Also, cake no video no on Saka e-levy or say Sabonsu birthday no cake no. Na Samira will be meboa. Okay, so let young question Bawumia Samira ya ocha e-levy cake mu. Crofo, I think I just need to just play videos no na minye din because we be manua one shot in one in 2 years support and I said ne se Bawumia we done no be catch na we say e-levy no so which means na omunim exactly say enye but woman we are on mine at that particular moment no it was okay for them. Share the e-levy share the omde share the omde e-levy look at this. Share the omde e-levy for Samira atoso for sister atoso mame who dey you when you video no free so never Samira atoso e-levy Jessica na nkwada ai textbooks nkola nya textbooks near the sika e-levy cake Mwabo dam mwabo timia done a whole presidency a psychiatric center na ga so modam a ubetimi do man sika ayesa de we na wase adane ho abeka kire manfo ne se me ba metwam Bawumia ka se e your man bia so a tinka sa auditorium won onko mbefa no easy anya Bawumia ni anya ne yiri ni anya e-levy party no omokoye no anya osechemen sabonsu ni ba kokura de na Samira no mu twa cake no mu check mame Chaki mame. Baku no mu twa cake no mu. Samira Bawumia nie. Bawumia ko e-levy party ni bi. O say we chairman sabonsu na te wono. Sa fucking mind no. Foolish man no we akwa we. Ni hu ni mfaso ma bibia wo wiase. Kwase ase. This is Samira. Yeah. Enyo omunie. Enyo e-levy ni. Enyo omunie. Enyo omu a. Enyo nie. Enyo cake ni esu no. Enyo omu na enyo omu a. Ade mi yese me kan bia wa hwa asembeba. Chese mama Omo person omo kire say ase enipa bi a ye the governance there ye sharp ye say ye see trick Ghana for agimi for say agimi for total say agimi for from head to toe say Simon Osemensa we Simon say Simon we na ayi akokwa bon Saturday Kumase ye de ne ba radio so foforo ne ho ne nika ne ho fin bi we ade na mo ye no mo nim se ade na nya anya Samira na gina ho no me pa mo cho Ghana for hwa ade we anya Samira ni anya e-levy cake ni ni anya Samira na ebe twa cake ni no anya Samira na gina ho no anya Samira ni anya Samira anya ho no anya Samira ni no omo ni nyo ho ne one na yire ne gina ho no anya Samira ni anya e-levy nu ni anya ni cake ni nya ni anya ni ya friend say Thompson anya ni anya no kwasi afo say ya no mo ha ni pa adwene o Ghana kwasi afo say anya e-levy cake ni wonni mutrim se ade a wo ye ne enye anyansafo ka kire se ade a wo ye ne nye oseme ye yanti akufado on BBC quick one mo de cake tu de munyim fan sende enkrofo timia twesika akobɔ ho nyom atwa ho cake we obi anim budget amade ye no is ade no so nye ade no a wo ye ne nye now do taxpayers' money spend it on it.
The digital economy, the mobile economy.
Yes, but you're taxing people on money that has already been taxed.
Is the biggest economy in the is emerging as the biggest economy in the country, and for a long period has not had any taxation at all. So it is important now that they also come into the net. Our country has one of the lowest tax to GDP ratios of any country in West Africa and of an equivalent economy. The ECOWAS area, the general average today, tax to GDP average is about 18%. Ghana, we're at 13%. So since if you're talking about a country which is already overtaxed, if anything at all, is undertaxed.
Okay, let me take you up on that point. You know, on your low tax ratio to GDP. I'm just going to read this quote to you. It's from John Kwache, who I'm sure you might know is the Director of Research at the Accra-based Institute for Economic Affairs. He says there are several loopholes in our tax system that if they are plugged, will be able to raise our tax to GDP ratio to something like 20% from the 12% that you're talking about. Well, first of all, are you speaking to experts like him?
First of all, there's a recognition that
no, but he's actually saying, I didn't read all of it. He says that there's no need for the e-levy.
Well, that's his point of view.
He's an expert.
But he's an expert. There are experts in government as well, and we think it's necessary, and that's the reason why we...
You think it's necessary to tax people who are already impoverished?
And they're not already impoverished. We're talking about people. We're talking about taxing an industry and transactions where a lot of value is being created, and we want to also bring that value into government coffers. I think that is something that is there's nothing so, and the e-levy is not Ghana, it's the only country that has something like a mobile digital tax. Many countries, they will not like it. People never,
because they're already taxing people who do business online, and then you are taxing as well.
Very little. People never like taxes. I don't know any group of people, especially business. Very
you are taxing as well.
Very little. People never like taxes. I don't know any group of people, especially business. Very little.
You are taxing as well.
Very little. People.
All right, so Osia TUC for on e-levy. Yenti on TUC. Osia omo asma omo kae about e-levy. Quick one. Maybe
such as the passage of the e-levy bill have not been introduced in isolation. Come on the back of a revenue loss of 13.1 billion cedis and an increased unbudgeted expenditure of 14.2 billion cedis. There's thus an overall fiscal impact of some 27.3 billion cedis, representing 6.8% of GDP. He also of petroleum price increases. The suggestion has been made, which has also been repeated by the Secretary General, is at this moment not sustainable. Removing taxes on petroleum products will reduce government revenues by some 4 billion cedis. At this time, when we're determined to expand government revenues in order to increase our capacity to finance our own development, can we afford to reduce government revenues by 4 billion cedis? Government is currently confronted by very tight financing conditions.
Since November 2021 budget, but we discussed it in production. And so why don't you inform me? Anyway, all right. So you're going to Amwakwata. Quick one. You're going to Amwakwata. Amwakwata. And this is no. Tobut na 11 into no mutumu Emma. Your friend say disabled for quarter, you know. You're catch you say 11 no be ye bibiano. So say
what we have to do.
Dr. Bawumia&His ekoso ewo highway no so na Ghana for men so yen so adwen kyerɛ ne de. Dr. Bawumia man no onka no kro oyobi a onka no kro na ono ankasa atena ase ehu sɛ Ghana for de yerefi ensam ntem. Yerefi ensam ntem papa pentin nsam a waba be ka kyerɛ de obi o wa 2024 about one day or kona wakwa akoto ama NPP oye ne den. Ucha the blood, ucha the body krana, ubehu red and white and blue. Moja enye asam ketwa because old say Dr. Bawumia asama wakan dia. We nye asama yes obeka eche Ghana for ma Ghana for eden. Ekoto abama na ebepe se yebede abedwafo na se na ye jamasi a. Na owo nsam kan bi nso afa share your comment section like share ma afofo nso no ensa into me enka bi medamase.